Hello, I am going to make vegetarian dumplings today with this plant meat. Starting off, the umami taste of vegetarian food is definitely the shiitake mushrooms. Gonna let them soak in water until they become soft. Some people do it in hot water. I don't think it really matters. And I have some frozen edamame that I'm going to incorporate later on. I didn't realize how well the iPhone picks up the ASMR noises for cooking. I don't have an estimation of quantity for any of these ingredients. I kind of just judge by my feelings. So most of the time, I put in a good amount, and then I would decide maybe I should just add some more. Washing the carrots. Washing the carrot with a carrot. So my mom got this carrot brush used to clean like any fruits or things that have like skin peels. And so it's been pretty fun to use. Now you might be thinking, why did you wash it so long for if you're just gonna peel it all off? I don't know, I just do that. I'm gonna rinse each cabbage leaf. Make sure to get all the dust and dirt off of it. To be honest, there's probably a quicker way to do this. Again, after washing it, I decided I should add some more leaves. I was gonna try to make a bigger portion today, so I have a certain amount of ingredients I'm used to using, but since I was gonna attempt to make 100, so you'll see me hesitating and adding more. I don't really like ginger that much, but my mom always complained that my dumplings don't have enough ginger taste in them. So for her sake, I added about an inch of ginger. You know, while editing this, I realized how weird I hold the knife. I hold it really tight to the blade. But I also learned that by speeding up the process, it makes it look so much more professional. Chop. I actually really enjoy mincing things, especially things I don't enjoy eating. For example, the story about carrots. When I was back in college, that was the first time I started learning to cook for myself, and I wanted to make sure that I was still getting enough vegetables and eating healthy, but I also didn't like some of the vegetables, nor did I want to actually eat healthy. So I would make mac and cheese and add in really minced up carrots. I know it's weird to some people. It's what are you doing? You're ruining mac and cheese. But also eat your veggies. I remember cutting up, spending a really long time cooking, mostly because of mincing all the carrots. And my roommate would come in and just be like, what are you doing? I'll tell her exactly why I was cutting carrots in such a way, and she'll just be like, why don't you just not eat it? I don't know, I'm very stubborn when it comes to certain things in life. That doesn't make sense. Anyways. If you enjoy cutting things up and you find this therapeutic or satisfying in any way, I would say that's the fun part of making dumplings. Just get to chop up a bunch of stuff. Ingredients, food. Oh my gosh, please don't chop up anything else besides that. So with the shelled edamame, after they thawed, I removed the skin, and then I'm gonna chop them up. So usually in the past we would use tofu, but since my mom is trying to cut down on soy products, I attempted to use edamame for the first time. What I learned about doing this is, since edamame flies everywhere when you're cutting it in the beginning, use a smaller portion. You can see how colorful it is. Okay, now it's time for the mushrooms. They're probably soft by now, since washing the cabbage took forever. And again, just dice these up. I would say like maybe a 1/4 inch size would be nice. But even after that, I did go back through the entire pile and just randomly started chopping just to see if I could cut down on some of the size. Generally, you don't want anything larger than like a 1/4 inch for any of the ingredients that you're adding in. There's a tendency it might be too chunky and the plant meat won't hold it tightly enough. We started adding in kimchi the last few times and it turned out pretty good. I would say maybe, again, I don't have any measurements, but maybe like a cup of kimchi. Dice it. You can dry it out or squeeze out the excess kimchi juice. I think that the kimchi juice also helps with the seasoning, so I don't bother. I'm just thinking about like how horrified like traditional dumpling makers would be seeing all these ingredients. And especially with the plant meat. Oh, of course, you can substitute plant meat with pork, ground whatever else you want to add. So yeah, the cabbage was diced and drained. And now we're adding in my trinity of sauces: vinegar, sesame oil, and soy sauce. I would say just add enough so that the entire pile looks a shade darker. Because in the end, you're gonna end up dipping your dumpling into another sauce, so I wouldn't worry too much. But then again, I'm not very traditional with the way I cook. I just kind of eyeball everything. I remember going to a friend's place once. This was back in college when I haven't cooked that much, and they were making banana bread with ripe bananas. They just kind of eyeballed the flour, the banana, and whatever else. I was really impressed. I want to get to that level, so since that day I just kind of tried to not measure anything and just go by my feelings. And eventually I would say I have a good hang of it. My friends might disagree, but you know what? They're not the ones eating these dumplings that I'm spending time on. So as long as I'm happy with it, I'm cool with that. So usually the plant meat that we get is a different brand. The brand that I got that day was extra soggy and had a lot of moisture, so it was really hard to wrap. Of course, it happens on the days when I decide to finally record a vlog. I like to stretch out the skin a little bit just to kind of add a bit more of a bounce back into the flour. Oh, I forgot to mention we bought these. So they're handmade from the market. Someone very talented with noodles and dumpling skins made them. And they're pretty cheap. I think a 200 pack only costed like $5 US. I thought it was cheap because usually anything handmade is like, what's it called? Hipster? Not hipster. It just costs a lot more when things are branded as handmade, but no, not at traditional markets. So I try to make it the way, I guess it's called the half moon fold. I don't know, I didn't feel like looking it up, but that's the way I learned it from a YouTube video. My mom did not teach me. I had to teach my mom how to make these. So with the extra dumplings that you made, you can freeze them. I think it would taste better after freezing them for a couple of hours so that the inside meat kind of has more of a structural integrity, whereas I think if you cook it right away, the skin tastes good, but the meat was kind of not. But yeah, it took a total of maybe 4 hours to make. So unless you have nothing to do and you're quarantining at home and you have people to help you out with, don't do this by yourself.